Sean Strickland's coach, Nicksick, recently shared his insights on a tactical approach that could be key to conquering Khamzat Chimaev in a fight. Chimaev is poised to make his highly anticipated return in a 5-round middleweight showdown against Robert Whittaker, serving as the co-main event of UFC 308, scheduled for October 26 at the Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. Initially, both fighters were slated to headline UFC Fight Night in Saudi Arabia on June 22. However, just weeks before the showdown, Borz was forced to withdraw due to an undisclosed illness. In a last-minute effort to save the main event, Ikram Aliskerov stepped up on short notice. Whittaker made quick work of Aliskerov, delivering a knockout victory in under 2 minutes. The undefeated Chechen has earned a formidable reputation for his relentless and dominating fighting style. However, in the past 2 years, Chimaev's momentum has been hampered by various setbacks, with illness being the primary factor behind his reduced activity. Chimaev made his long-awaited return to the octagon after a 13-month hiatus, squaring off against former welterweight champion Kamaru Usman at UFC 294 last October. He dominated the first round with a strong start, but the fight quickly became intense as Usman staged a spirited comeback, turning the next 2 rounds into a fiercely competitive contest. Despite the back-and-forth battle, Chimaev ultimately secured a majority decision victory. Nicksick believes that if the Reaper can weather Chimaev's explosive onslaught in the first 2 rounds, he'll present the toughest challenge Borz has ever encountered in the octagon. Nicksick suggests Chimaev might falter if pushed to deep waters in later rounds. During a recent interview with Red Corner MMA, Nicksick provided his analysis of the showdown between Whittaker and Chimaev. The respected MMA coach heaped praise on Whittaker, hailing him as one of the all-time greats in the middleweight division, and voiced his confidence that the former champion has the potential to deliver the toughest test Chimaev has ever faced in his career. "I mean, it's a great fight. You know, I think Rob has been somewhat overlooked in his last few fights, especially with the way he got beat by Dricus du Plessis," Nicksick said. Then he comes back the way he has. Robert Whittaker, I think, would have been a champion for a long time if it hadn't been for Israel Adesanya. It's like there's always someone's kryptonite that comes into play. This is the matchup we need to see from both fighters to see how good Khamzat actually is. Would you be surprised if Khamzat blew through Robert Whittaker? No, you wouldn't. Would you be surprised if Whittaker blew through Khamzat? No, you wouldn't. So this is just one of those fights where you really want to see how good Khamzat truly is. Nicksick further noted that Chimaev has yet to face the rigorous test of a 5-round bout. He highlighted that Borz struggled to maintain his intense pressure in previous fights against Usman and Gilbert Burns, suggesting that his cardio issues could be detrimental in a prolonged contest. "I think the pace, I think somebody that can drag it into deep waters that we saw with Usman, that we saw in a 3-rounder with Gilbert Burns, right? In a 5-rounder, it's always going to be the question mark because of Khamzat's style of always trying to finish fights and get guys out of there right away. Can that be his kryptonite? Is a guy who's durable, who can last, get through rounds 1 and 2, and then where does Khamzat fare in the deeper rounds? That is the question mark. We haven't seen the unknown, that's all we're asking, and how well he does in these situations."